Blessings, divine beings, Nimue here. I am so extremely excited about this deck that I found. It's been out for a while. It was published in 2021, but I want to just kind of share my little story about finding this deck. I don't really buy indie decks. Not that I'm opposed to them. I haven't found one that I like really loved. But I was scrolling through Kickstarter successful campaigns one night. I was bored and I was scrolling way back. Um, and I guess a little backstory. I love Vikings. Like I love, love, love Vikings. I more follow the like Celtic pantheon, but my husband works with the Norse pantheon, and his patron deity is Odin. And I've looked into like there's a few Viking decks out there, um, but I don't know, they're like really serious and kind of manly and warlike. But I love Vikings. I've watched Vikings like the show like 3 times. I've watched Last Kingdom on Netflix like twice. So big fan. So anyways, scrolling down and nothing was really piquing my interest, and I saw this and I was like, Odin's Playbook, like that's cute. And I'll show you the art in a minute, but it's like cute, like playful, fun, bright, vibrant. And I was like, what is this? And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, like seriously? Like this exists? This is so cute. And so I ordered it directly from the person. I think that's the only place. No, I think I did see it on Etsy also, but it was more expensive on Etsy. So I ordered it directly from the author from Canada, and I waited a couple weeks, uh, and then when the mailman brought it, he like didn't leave it because the name didn't match up or something, and I had to like chase him down. I had to go to the post office. They said I got the notification like your package is being sent back to Canada. I was like, no, but I got my package. So yeah, let's take a look at the cards. I want to go over the guidebook because I think she did a great job. There's a couple things I just want to say, but first I'll go over. So each of the cards has a rune on. Well, I say like 90% of the cards have a rune on it, and then she has special meanings for the runes in the back, so you can kind of look up both if you want. You can look up the meaning that she wrote, and then also the meaning about the card and the meaning she wrote about that rune, which is really cool. Oh, speaking of runes, there, I wanted to have my runes out and I forgot about it. And then she has a cheat sheet, a special individual card of all the runes there. There is also a bonus card of Odin, the Allfather, not part of the deck. It's just a like an altar card. He is the hermit in this deck, and he's also on the back of the card. Aren't those backs really fun? And then the side of the card, they're all blue. I think the cardstock is blue. Really cool. And those are the backs, right? Kind of a good size, like a normal size. The cardstock feels really nice. It's like nice, really sturdy, heavy-duty cardstock. Okay, and she did a few really cool things with this deck that made it, more Viking-ish, which is awesome. Her name was Danielle Norman, so she was kind of exploring her Norse history when she, wanted to make this deck. But I wanted to go over a couple things so she changed the suits, which I love. I love that she did that. So because it was very fitting. The wands are staves. The cups are horns, like, drinking horns. So cool. The swords are axes. I love that. And then the pentacles are rings. Like the first I was thinking like a ring, but it's like they're rings, like rings they're armband rings, I think, which is really cool. Let's see. So, oh yeah, and the major arcana, if I can find one. She changed also and kind of made it like either one could be any gender, which I thought was really cool. So we have the poet instead of page, shield maiden. I guess those are all women. Shield maiden, they all have this little toy horse instead of like a real horse. But shield maiden, chieftain, both men and women, and ruler, both men and women. So I thought that was really cool as well. I love those changes. Very fitting. What else? Nothing at the beginning, I think. The runes are in the back. I did want to talk about what she wrote. Yeah, there's not a whole lot at the beginning. She gives a couple spreads here. Walk with Odin spread, a few 3-card spreads, daily reading. And then she gives, right, the rune for each one that has one. You know, a paragraph, some are longer than others. Right, that one's quite a little longer. It's almost a page and a half. She gives equal messages for both upright and reverse, which is really great because most books only, if anything, give you a few keywords for the reverse, but she gives you just as much as she did in the upright meaning. The only thing I would say, so I have 2 things to say about the book. I love it. I love what she wrote. So in the upright meaning, she gives a little bit of like a meaning and then mostly like advice, kind of like how to go, what actions to take, how to move forward, how to heal. And then the reverse, it's all advice. So it doesn't really give a meaning of reverse. It's kind of, I think she's kind of working on the assumption that you understand that the reverse is basically the opposite of the upright, but she doesn't really discuss meaning of reversed, which is fine. Only thing that I am bothered by, and not bothered by, I just wish there was more. I wish she added in symbolism on some of the, or depictions of some of the cards, because, and I know it's kind of annoying, like some decks will tell you exactly what you're seeing. You're like, yeah, I can see that. I don't need you to tell me that, and I know what that means. But she specifically, she doesn't talk about anything depicted in the cards at all, not symbolism and not even like what's there, because while this deck, she does follow traditional tarot like format, storyline, meaning, all that, and imagery, which we'll go over in a minute. But there's a couple cards, maybe a few, that she changed entirely, not the meaning, but the image to make it, more, well, because it was something that was relevant to Norse or Viking culture, which totally makes sense to me, and I get that, and I got the imagery, but I just still wish that there was a mention of the imagery. So, for example, I know we're going to get there, but it was the Judgment card, which I think is so cool that, no, not Judgment, the Justice card. Where is it? There. So, obviously, this is not a traditional Justice card, but I've watched Vikings 3 times, and I understand that this is like their court system that they do, right? They have the like town judge person. I don't know what they're called. Maybe I kind of wish that the book said so. And then this event of the kind of like court thing is called something as well, and I forgot what that was called. But the person accused of something is up on the rocks. The judge, kind of like assigned by the chieftain to be the kind of fair, justice type of a person. And then the entire town will gather and be the jury. Right, but she doesn't say anything about that. Like, nothing. And I wish she did. And the same thing with, like, the death. Obviously, that's not a traditional death card, and I'm assuming, pretty obviously, this is like a door to Valhalla, but she doesn't go into the detail of that. And so I just wish she did, because she did some really cool stuff that I would have loved some more information on. But with that said, let's look through the deck. Oh, you know what? I'll get there when I get there. She did something really cool with the minor arcana, but we'll get there. Okay. Such bright colors. And she said that every once in a while, like, keep your eye out because you'll see the Fool, like, in the background of a couple of the cards. So, the Fool, the Magician, Or like some of the names she changed. I love that. The seeress, you know, in Vikings it's like the seer, but super cool to have the seeress as the high priestess. You know, but still have, you know, has everything you need. So the mother instead of the empress. The father instead of the emperor. We still have like the, you know, the sheep or goat, you know, skull in the back there. The elder still has his, I mean, minimal symbology, but still has the key there for the Hierophant. This lover's card kind of bugs me. I don't know. I mean, I get it. You know, it went with the kind of like leaning or flavor of the meaning that she wrote about. But I don't know. This is like the one card in the deck. I was like, oh no, that, you know, yeah, I get it, but the Chariot. Oh, so cool. I love that the longboats are the Chariot in this deck. Strength. Immediately my husband's like, that looks like Lagatha. And it does. The Hermit, depicted by Odin. Justice, that we just talked about. Still cool. Like, this is probably, I love this change that she made. It's, you know, completely in alignment with Viking culture. So it's like the sword. There's no scales in there anywhere, but that's okay. We understand what it is. For the wheel, the web of weird. I don't think I'm saying that right, but yeah. The Hanged Man. See, at first I was like, why is he backwards? And I was like, oh, she probably didn't want to draw the front, area of him since he's naked. But I was like, why is there, because I looked through the cards before I read the book, and I was like, oh, why is there a spear through him? And I was like, oh, there's probably obviously like a story, a Viking story about a god or something that I don't know about, and she'll tell about it in the book. And she doesn't. And it's like the pool is filled with the runes, which is pretty cool. But she doesn't say any mention of that. And I wish I knew what that meant. I'm sure I can maybe do some research. The Death card. The assumption of, you know, there's a couple skeletons there still. Like the butterflies in the corner. You know, the two snakes. I can only guess, but she doesn't mention anything about the light and dark snake. Temperance. I think it's cool that she made Temperance a guy. I think she kind of messed with genders a bit in this deck, which is great. I love that. The Devil. Still have the two. See, look. There's the lovers having a loving moment. I just wish that was in the lovers card. The Tower is super cool. This reminds me of scenes from Viking where they were like burning the grain stores. The Star. I was kind of bummed that, I mean, I get it. It's beautiful northern lights. I just, you know, it's not the typical, where's the naked lady pouring water? Anyways, it's still beautiful. It's just, some of them are super traditional and there's just like a few that aren't. And I'm like, oh, but it's okay. It's a beautiful vision. And I'm so just, I've been loving playing with this deck. It's so fun. The Moon. The Sun, I love. I love it's like a big, sexy, like, strong Viking dude carrying a giant sunflower. Judgment. Again, I thought it was cool. I'm pretty sure like the angel in this guy is, you know, usually a lady. He's, you know, coming out of the grave here, but it's like a guy blowing the horn. And the World, depicted by a tree, saying the elements, the seasons, fall, winter, spring, summer. But again, nothing is said about, you know, there's a ribbon and there's one of the rings, but none of the other tools. I don't know. So nothing was said about that. Okay, so for the minor arcana, super cool thing that she did. Honestly, I don't know. I like this. So what she did is each suit follows a specific character. It's like that same character depicted in every card, and it's following their story. I'm sure there are other decks that do that as well. I just don't have any of those, and so this is new for me. And then the next suit is a different character, though the court cards are not that character, I don't think, unless it's like a younger version. No, because that's a lady. So, but also I think it's cool that she diversity in her minor arcana. So she has two men and two women, and then two people of color and two non-people of color. Yeah. So, all right. Ace of Staves. The Wands. Two of Staves. Three. I thought that was really clever. Usually there's like a few things like floating, and it's like the boats in the corner. This one threw me off because I was like, oh, 4 of Cups. Oh, wait, no. They're just holding horns, so it's four of Staves. 5 of Staves. I just love this. I love that depiction. 6 of Staves. I don't know, just to me, seeing the same person in each of them, I don't know, it helps tell the story. And I just love the vibrant colors, like all the sky. It's like either nighttime or when it's daytime, the sky is just, I don't know, pink and orange and yellow. They're so pretty. I think she said this was her first time. I think she did one other deck. I forgot what it was called. I think it was really popular. Not really, pretty popular. But it was like the art, the collage art type of thing, which I am not a fan of. I don't like collage art decks. But she wanted to do something different with this deck, and so she, her first, I don't know if her first time doing digital art, but something along those lines. And so, I don't know, you look close to the detail of these, and it's not like, I think, I don't know, I'm just really impressed. I think it was her first time doing digital art. Maybe I read that wrong, but, obviously it's not perfect. It's not like, oh man, piece of, I don't know what I'm saying, something that belongs in a museum, but so good if this is her like first time, or maybe it's just her first deck doing digital art. I don't know. I think it's great though. Bravo. 8 of Swords. I was really confused here. Is that like someone's foot? Because again, she doesn't talk about imagery, and this is very traditional, but like, what is that? Is that like a glitch? First I was like, it's another bird. I was like, no, it looks like a foot and a cape, and I couldn't tell. 9 of Staves. And then in both of these, you can see it's the same person, right? He's really beat up here. He has his shirt back from that picture, but here's the same. Got his like wounds, and he's like carrying that burden or load or bundle staves. Okay. I do understand that some of these are supposed to be depicted at night, but like it's kind of hard to see the details. Okay, and then the court cards. She kind of did this weird like burlap sack background on all the court cards. I didn't really understand that. But Poet, Shield Maiden, Chieftain with her sunflower, and Ruler of Staves. Okay, and for Cups, we got a different character. So we're following this lady right here. Three of Horns. 4 of Horns. I was really thrown off by this one at first. And I was like, is she wearing a tracksuit? I don't know. The clothes are a little too colorful, I think, for like Viking times. Is her clothes? Oh, no. I guess well, she's not wearing the same thing. Oh, no. I don't know. Is it that? Is it her? Okay. But I get it. 5 of Horns. Oh, I love that. When you're like, Send someone out. Burn the boat. This confused me at first because usually there's like two people. I was like, is she hiding? But anyways. 7 of Horns. 8 of Horns. 9 of Horns. Okay. I was like, what's in the bag? What's the bag for? It's like front and center. And then no mention of it. Nothing. It looks like a backpack that my husband takes to like work. So it looks kind of modern. I don't know. I was confused. Like, why is the bag front and center and there's no mention of it? I want to know what the bag is for. 10 of Horns. Look how happy everyone looks. Oh. All right, and the court cards. Poet of Horns. Shield Maiden. These little toy horses are funny. Chieftain. I like how she's switching the like genders around. So obviously this would be typically the queen, typically the king, but we have chieftain and ruler, and she switches it around on every single kind of court suit. All right, axes instead of swords. So fitting. So we're gonna follow this guy through his story. And look, this is the only one I saw. See, look, it's the Fool. It's the only card. She said he's hiding in a few. It's the only one I saw him in. I love that 3 of Hearts depiction. It's like a real heart. And they're like target practicing on it. 4 of Axes. 5 of Axes. All these are just so, I don't know. I think they're just so great. They're just fantastic. Look at that. Sun, set or rise. 6 of Axes. He's like a troll under the bridge. But he's hiding. 7 of Axes. I like that one. 8 of Axes. A lot of crows. Notice whenever there's like, would have been like a different animal, it's always depicted by like a crow. You know, like in the, he doesn't have his dog, but he has a crow. Oh, I love this one. For the 9 of Axes. Look at the eyes in the back. Look at him. So good. And then this one looks, ugh. But there's the butterflies. There's hope. All right, court cards. Poet of Axes. Shield Maiden of Axes. Chieftain. If you look closely, she has like high heel boots on. Will it focus? Yeah, they're like high heels. Thought that was cool. And Ruler of Axes. All right, last suit, and that is such a cool Ace of Pentacles rings. The roots coming down. Oh, so great. All right, now we're following this lady. 2 of Rings. 3 of Rings. Building a boat in this one. Burying her rings. 4 of Rings. 5 of Rings. There's a path of rings to help over here that she's not seeing. 6 of Rings. She's sharing her rings. Oh, she's so happy here. 7 of Rings. Look at all the bounty she is surrounded by. 8 of Rings. 9 of Rings. Again, the crow. I'm pretty sure there's usually like a, oh, what's that bird called that has the eye things? Wow, a hawk. Yeah, there we go, right? Hawk. But instead, a crow. And 10 of Rings. Court cards. Poet. Shield Maiden. Chieftain. And Ruler. I like her. She's cool. I like her a lot. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I hope, I don't know, you got enjoyment out of watching and looking at this deck. I think it's so cool and colorful and fun, and it has been really fun to play with the last couple days because that's all I've had it. And I will do a reading with this deck to show how the card book reads. I don't know, soon, tomorrow. But all right, thanks. Bye.